Hey there, and welcome to another episode of Coshocton Conversations. I'm your host, Kirby Hossman. We're here at the Hossman Brewing Tap Room, where we want good people to have good conversations. And joining me today in a good conversation is Michelle Turner Ganz. She's the co-owner of Dean's Jewelry. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Cool. So let's start with the basics. So
Okay.
tell everybody a little bit about Dean's Jewelry and some of the good projects or things that you're excited about right now.
Okay, well, Dean was my grandfather. He opened our store 54 years ago here on Main Street. We were in the fabulous 500 block, and so now we're in the 400 block of Main. But we've got some really fun things going on. We've got our estate events coming up, so we always like to bring really cool, I don't know, I feel like estate jewelry has a little bit of an art feel to it, and it's a little different than today's jewelry. So we've got that going on where we're bringing a huge collection for a couple of days. Yeah. So that's really fun. We always have we've got our color events that are also fun. We like to bring different events. It's kind of we consider our business family and a very fun place to be. So I'm always looking for new and creative ways to share that with the community.
Oh, that's cool. So obviously you and I have known each other for a little while. I know that, you do well here on Main Street in Coshocton, but what's a burning challenge that you have right now?
Let's see, a burning challenge. Our Main Street is a little bit quiet. So I guess when we're talking to the people in our community, I guess a couple of different things. I market our store and I think of us as a destination location. Okay. So when I'm talking to everybody, I'm talking to them in a way that, I know that there's not a lot of extra shopping on Main Street right now. But I'm really excited about the way things are going, and I think that our community is coming together a bit, and there's some new things happening. Right. So that's really good.
But traffic. You want more traffic.
Yeah, more traffic would be great. And another burning issue, I think, is that there's this threshold barrier where people... jewelry is one of those industries where you have to talk to somebody else if you're going to buy anything. And so often people get very nervous about that, or they think they can't afford, what's in a jewelry store. There's just kind of a stigma about it. But, I'm really proud to have everything in every price point. And we one of our We Believe statements is having something for everybody. It's not about how much it is or the size that it is. It's about what makes you smile and makes you feel good. Yeah.
It's funny, in marketing, we talk about the external need and then the internal need, and the internal need's often about that question that is there, but you don't want to ask out loud. And it sounds like that's one of those pieces.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to come off as dumb or...
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. So to transition, we talked about one of your challenges. What are some things you're excited in Coshocton, about in Coshocton County right now?
Let's see, I think there's a lot going on. I feel like a lot of our community is coming together. There's a lot of different groups. And in my past year's experience with those groups, they all have their own agenda. And those agendas seem to be merging into, how can we make Coshocton great? And so a lot of partnering with the groups coming together that makes me really happy. The bridge project that's coming up, is going to be frustrating, but it's going to be great. And so if we can get past that negative part and realize what an opportunity this is for us. I think that's a really exciting thing, and I'm really excited about the bike path too that's coming.
Yeah, that's right.
And I heard today, I'm hoping that they're going to have a segue onto Main Street in some way, which would be great.
Yeah, no, those are all good things. And you bring up a great point. I was actually talking about this last year, about this time when the potholes, the winter time come, right? And one of the challenges is the city did a lot of paving last year and it was really helpful. But during the paving process, it's always challenging. Yeah. But as long as you can focus on the idea of what's coming down the road, the streets were much better. I'm looking out here at 6th Street right now and it looks beautiful. But you had to be torn up.
You have to go through it in order to get to the end. Yeah.
So final question for you, what is another organization, an event, or something in Coshocton County that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Well, I think our town, Coshocton, is really coming together, and the group has been around for a little over 5 years, I think, maybe even closer to 7. And it's gone through a lot of transition, but they're really finding their footing for a new group, and they're doing some really cool things right now. They're working on, well, two big projects. The lighting project, which is lighting the courthouse.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so we need a little over $100,000 in order to do that. We've raised a little over $80,000 so far.
Wow.
But it's really a great thing to light the courthouse on all sides all year round. So not just the top, but the entire thing. And it'll also have security lights in case there would ever be some sort of an emergency. It'll bright light the entire courthouse. So that's really exciting. We have a beautiful clock that's going on Main Street, right at the corner there by the Railroad Restaurant.
Awesome.
Which I'm really excited about, and that will be dedicated to Cheryl Cooksey and Cheryl Triplett, who were part of our founding board members. So that will be happening this year as well.
Wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, so we're really good. And then we're working on making downtown a historical, it's not historical society, but a historical area. So any of the business owners will be able, there's some tax breaks there. So all three big projects, but I think they're going to be really good.
That's awesome and really excited. And honestly, I didn't know about a couple of those. So I'm
All right.
learning stuff for this. So that's great. So thank you so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. And that's going to wrap up this episode of Coshocton Conversations. As I said, what we want is for this to be a good conversation by good people in our community. And we want the tap room here at Hossman Brewing to be a place that you do that. I want to thank again Michelle for doing this, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.